So this is night number 6 for the Occupy Mellon Park, part of the Occupy Pittsburgh. Could you folks give me a reaction to how it's been, how the police have been treating you, how you've been feeding everyone, and what the mood of the protesters is?
We've had a growing sense of solidarity, of getting to know each other, working together, learning a process by which we can come to real consensus and work together on supporting the interests of the 99% of the population that are hoping for a decent life, for an equitable system. We've had enormous amounts of donations. We thank all the people who have just made living here possible at this point. So we've had good hot food every night. We have tents springing up all over Mellon Green here. We have various working groups that have all the different jobs of setting up an infrastructure of a little community. So we have a food team, we have media team, we have sanitation, medics, we have education, we have a hospitality committee. We're inviting people to please come and visit us so we can learn from them, they can learn from us, and we can share ideas about ways we can all help each other and take care of each other.
What I think is ironic about it is that Mellon Bank said that you folks can stay here camped out in perpetuity. It appears they're not going to throw you out. The police told us the other day that they weren't going to force anybody to leave unless the property owners wanted, but you have their approval. So how long do you think you'll stay here?
I plan to stay indefinitely. I'm going to be moving in at the end of this month. I want to stay here throughout the winter. I think it's really important that we stand together to make very basic changes in the way that our system works. Right now, corporations have basically taken over our democratic processes. We no longer have a real vote. After Citizens United, the Supreme Court case that allowed corporations to donate as much as they wanted to election campaigns, I no longer trust that I'm living in a real democracy. So I feel it's very important, it's my responsibility as a member of that democracy to stand up for the Constitution and stand up for those basic institutions that take so long to build to make a democracy really work and be representative and be a just society. I'm speaking for myself here, I'm not speaking for the entire movement, but I as an individual feel that I have to commit myself to being part of a real change.
What about you, sir?
I absolutely have to agree with everything that she said. This is a phenomenal movement. This is the sort of thing that you don't see very often. We have so many people coming here for so many different individual reasons, for so many different individual purposes and causes. And the fact of the matter is we all understand and we all agree that this is all very interrelated. The fact of the matter is that whatever issue is affecting each of us as individuals, it's affecting so many other people as well. So we have people that are so entrenched in student debt. We have people that are having their homes foreclosed on. We have people that cannot provide a living wage, or cannot get a living wage and cannot provide for their families. The fact of the matter is, whereas my issues may be different from those of others in the camp, it's all the same issue when you get right down to the heart and soul of it. The system as it is now is not working, and people are outraged, and that's what we're all here for. We need to see a change, and we believe that change will come, and until we leave, or until that change until that does come, none of us are planning on going anywhere.
Well, that's wonderful, very noble. You were speaking, ma'am, about your vote. You're an individual. Corporations are considered that since the Supreme Court declared that. So corporate contributions from companies, large companies, can be made as individuals without any limits.
That's right.
How do you feel about that?
I feel that giving corporations whose bottom line is profit rather than the actual well-being of the communities in which they are, the communities that they are affecting so much, it leads to a real undermining of a democratic system that values communities over that bottom line. So we have to reform that system. There needs to be real limits on corporate spending in elections. There needs to be some kind of system that makes sure that people's voices, rather than just dollars' voices, are what is influencing basic decision making and basic policy making. I'm a veteran of the Iraq War. Right now, the profits of major corporations are part of what is driving war after war after war. We are constantly threatened with a tiny chance of terrorism in order to garner our support for spending billions and billions of dollars that really needs to be invested in our own infrastructure, in education, healthcare, in the basic needs that we together can help promote to take care of each other. So I've seen a lot of real pain and suffering in terms of the effects that we've had overseas. I work with Iraqi refugees. I've seen how their lives were devastated. Millions of refugees lost their homes. While we here now, homes are being foreclosed because we don't have a system that is at all equitable or really smart about the ways in which our taxpayer dollars are spent for our interests. So we're not only deeply damaging so many other people's lives around the globe and creating great resentment and rage as we kill their families and cause such harm, we wreck their homes. But we ourselves cannot take care of our own roads. We have roads that are no longer paved because we can't take care of them, bridges that are falling apart. Here in Pittsburgh, we have bridges that are at the point of collapse in some cases. So we really need to be thinking about the basics. We need to take care of the accounting book. We need to make sure that we're not throwing so much money into the hands of a corporation or of a company like Titan, which was sued by 250 Iraqis for torture. The Obama administration asked that that suit be dismissed by the Supreme Court. They dismissed it the same day that the Obama administration awarded them billions of dollars of new contracts. So not only were they released from the responsibility of the well-documented torture that they participated in, they were also rewarded for that behavior. And that message is sent out to all these other corporations that those types of services are valuable. So at the same time, we have a veteran right here in this camp who her disability has not been paid. Her son is here. He's 2 years old. Her home is going into foreclosure. So if we can't even take care of our veterans, if we can't take care of the refugees that are suffering from our wars, if we can't take care of the very basics of our economics, our roads, our health care, our schools, we're making the wrong choices. And as a people, we need to stand up and say, absolutely no more.